To the right, Shinra HQ, where Hojo should be, along with a cure for Cloud. To the left, Reactor 6, which will get blown up along with Biggs unless I stop him. Cloud. Biggs. Or Aerith. How the hell am I supposed to choose? Sephiroth!
Hello everyone, welcome to Bittersweet Theory. Today I get to step back into the world of Final Fantasy VII and it makes me so happy. I have done a theory for Final Fantasy VII where I go over the whole game. It's a little cringe for me to go back and listen to, but it's still a good theory. I may go over some topics that I covered in that video, but for right now, let's get into it. I've been continuing my research for the podcast that I'm doing with Geekly, and in doing so I have found some interesting evidence that I'm dying to go over. One of the greatest parts of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is that we get to play as Zack. As we play, there are 3 different choices that Zack has to choose from. Throughout the game, we get small cutscenes of him making these choices that adds to the confusion of this game. One way that could help you choose which choice is right is Scamp. Up if you choose Biggs, we see Scamp on a bag of potato chips. This could be a way of the game telling us that this is the real choice that Zack made. After all, we see Scamp in the first half of the game as a guide from Jessie for which way to go. If this is the case, then Biggs does end up dying. The other scene that has Scamp is the scene where Zack is sitting on the steps of the church deciding what to do. This scene plays out to see Johnny carrying a stuffed Scamp in his arms before he runs off. This can be a good option due to the fact that we do see Scamp in this scene. Both of them are good solid options. I do have a whole separate Cloud theory that I'm doing, so don't worry. So both scenes can be 2 solid options to choose from. I believe that I have found which one is correct. I was listening to the book On a Way to a Smile, a book based on what happens 4 years after the events of Final Fantasy VII take place. I found some answers in Denzel's story. His story is so sad, but it starts off in a cafe owned by Johnny. It also explains that Johnny never left Midgar, that after the plate fell, he was one of the many people who were trying to put their lives back together. He opened up the cafe years later. When he found out that Tifa opened another 7th heaven, he always talked about her place and sent her customers. Also, he is still in love with Tifa and never moved on from her. That would mean that the Johnny never left Midgar to start the hotel business that we see in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It also means that he never had that girlfriend either. I looked it up and the book is canon for the Final Fantasy VII universe. That means that Johnny we see in Casa del Sol is not real. This is another point that has me convinced that everything in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is an illusion caused by Jenova. So given the evidence from the book, out of all the choices, Zack sitting on the steps seems to be the right one. This makes sense seeing that right after seeing Johnny, Zack sees the illusion of Sephiroth walking into the church. This being the right choice is also supported by the scene where we see Aerith push Cloud away as Sephiroth approaches her from behind. These 2 scenes are playing out at the same time. Both Cloud and Zack are being pulled into the same place where they are able to fight Sephiroth together. This is the part of the game where the real world and the illusion created by Jenova are starting to intertwine. The final part of this theory that Zack is sitting on the steps is right is that all the other cutscenes that we see Zack end on a cliffhanger. Notice how all the other choices leave us to question what happens. With the church scene, we get the whole story of what happened, and at the end, Zack wakes up inside the church. Please let me know what you think down in the comments. There is one more theory that I wanted to get everyone's opinion on. There is something that it was not enough to make a whole theory until I got some more confirmation on a few things. It's about when Lucrezia is pregnant with Sephiroth and she gets the visions of the horrible things Sephiroth will do. My thoughts were that Jenova's cells are affecting her mind because Sephiroth doesn't get visions of what will happen as far as we know. So let me know what you think down in the comments because it might be worth looking more into. There will be a lot more Final Fantasy theories to come. What choice do you think Zack made? Please let me know down in the comments. That's all I have for now. Please subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, it's been bittersweet.